Hello, it's me again. This is my third video. If you can see, I'm a little on the pale side. I'm not feeling all that great. I'm a bit hungover. You may have noticed Stumpy back here has been moved to a new location. I'll explain that in a minute. But basically, it means never, ever, never play poker with raccoons. So I sat down and had a poker game with Ricky and Rocky, the two raccoons, and Shirley, the squirrel, and well, things were going on great until they found out they won, and they won Stumpy. I know we were drinking. I shouldn't have bet Stumpy, but whatever. And they got a little cranky when they found out that Stump here isn't edible. So they knocked him over and rioted. And you know, the problem with raccoons is you can never ever tell them they're bluffing. That little black eyeshadow they wear. What? What'd you say? Oh, cameraman says raccoons don't wear black eyeshadow. That's natural. So never, ever play poker with raccoons. You can't tell if they're bluffing. And as for the squirrel, Shirley, well, let's just say never, ever give wine to squirrels. They get a little animorous. Well, I mean, in the end, I think Rocky and Ricky had a lot of fun with her. As for me, I had to take Stumpy, put him in a new location, and yeah, that's that. So let's get down to business. So, writing tip of the day. So, one of the great writing tips I have for people is go to writers' convention. So last weekend I was at the Creative Ink Festival Writers' Convention, which will be coming up next year in May 18th to 20th, 2018. For those that are interested, go to it. And as a writer, and I'll explain why, it's because you learn a lot of stuff. I learned some great tips there. Things from scene setting, plot development, how to write a novel, everything from even how to promote your novel. Lots of ideas. So for a writer, great idea. Go to festivals. And when I was at the festival, I actually met this guy, Adam Reese. This is his novels, the Yellowhood series from Calgary. Great guy. He gave me a couple of great writing tips, and one of his was, oh, by the way, Adam, I hope that $10 is in the mail, because you're in trouble if you're not, because this is a paid ad. Anyways, so his tip, he says, I said, I've done some videos. He goes, well, my idea of videos is simple. He says, you should keep them short. Too long is not good. So keep them to like about as long as it takes you to finish a coffee, because that way you can have a coffee, watch a video while you're on a train, whatever. So, coffee cup, video's about to start. We'll go from there. I'm going to try to keep it timed to the coffee. So, anyways, that's that. Adam Reese from Calgary, great science fiction writer, urban fantasy, punk, well, I can't remember what you call this stuff. Anyways, so yeah, great guy. And hopefully he decides to pay me. So, anyways, let's get on to the scene. So this is from my newest novel, Thunderbird's Wake. Adam actually said to me, he says, so give me, he says, the Hollywood version of your book. I said, well, the Hollywood version would simply be the Green Mile movie, set on the west coast of Canada, written by Agatha Christie and directed by Quentin Tarantino. So if that grabs your attention, check the book out. Okay, so opening scene is Charlie, a native shaman, has just found out that the native elder of the jail has been offed, murdered. So he's bribing his way to get into the jail because he knows something's up. So the book opens like this. So what makes you qualify for this job? Asked the stern-looking white man heading the hiring committee. Well, I'm native, aren't I? Charlie responded, smiling at him and the 6 other Caucasian members of the review board. He figured they felt protected behind their heavy desks, wanting to feel exposed in the one chair center in the large, empty office. He tapped his cane on the floor. Nice. Everyone raised his head and stared at him. Real wood, pine floor, probably 80 years old. Nice stuff, he smiled back. The 5-man, 2-woman board flipped through the pages on their clipboards, desperately hoping to find other applicants. Only there weren't any. His didn't take much reading. Well, being a man of deep spiritual connections, I reckon this is up my alley. If you look under hobbies, you'll see I love to watch baseball. Yes, the same man said dryly. Montreal Expos in particular. I believe they no longer exist. Yeah, go those Blue Jays, Charlie beamed at the man. Been meaning to get a new cap. Rather get attached to this old friend though. We've been through a lot. I guess I've been on for special occasions like this. I should have splurged. Look a little more respectable. If I get spending budget on this job, could I afford a new cap? Charlie, by the way, is dressed in a usually a jean jacket, a plaid shirt, very Canadian looking, with a ball cap studded with pins and 2 long white braids that come out the back. That's Charlie. And yes, he does wash his clothes every month or so. Yes, man reading the resume cleared his throat. The scowl on his face showed he wasn't much of a baseball fan or any kind of sports fan, for that matter. You also cite watching documentaries as well as baseball. These really aren't hobbies, Mr. Stillwater. No, it's Charlie. What? It's not Stillwater. It's Charlie Stillwaters. He smiled and leaned on his cane. I guess you could be right. Watching the Expos is more like my passion. Got hooked on them after the top of the standings in '84. Probably would have taken the World Series. First Canadian group to ever do that. If it wasn't for that strike. '84. Man, that's been a while. I guess it's time for a new cap. At least to get this one cleaned. As far as documentaries, I think Mr. Suzuki has for the most part got it right. Bit slow to figure things out, but the man's on the right path. I don't want to be politically incorrect these days, but I reckon he's got more native blood in him than he lets on. I like the guy. Looks a lot like my Uncle Ralph. The committee flipped through their blank pages again, wishing at least one other application would materialize. They were disappointed. It's hard figuring out anyone willing to relocate to Prince Rupert to fill any position, but especially in the psychological fields, one of the well-nourished women whispered to the cookie-cutter figure next to her. I remind you that the head warden has warned that if we can't find a candidate by the end of this week, one of us will have to go in and deal with them. And I, for one, am not walking in there with those vile creatures, the way their dirty eyes linger, undressing me. She shivered and flushed a deep red, either embarrassed or aroused by the thought. I wouldn't get caught alone with any of them in a cell. Probably get raped. I'll quit if we don't get somebody. The head interviewer looked at the papers again and back at the others. I agree. The natives are starting to get out of hand. We'll have to take on Mr. Shaman man here. Let him deal with them. And better he gets assaulted than one of us. We'll have our elder. Jail keeps his license, and after a federal inspector leaves next week, well, we can either fire him or find another one to fill in. I request we send out a special listing for the position. The suits all nodded in agreement. He cleared his throat. Okay, Mr. Charlie Stillwater, we'll give you a 2-week trial. Oh, good. Ends on the night of a full moon, Charlie smiled. I'll be feeling mighty hairy then, he said. I should bring my silver razor for protection. They glared at him. Won't last a day, one stern woman whispered to the colleague next to her. Arrogant bastard, but feed him to the wolves instead of one of us. I agree. We'll be surprised if he lasts 2 hours. But we have no other choice. It's him or one of us. We follow paperwork or get our federal funding. If we kits, well, we'll have to hope we get a better response next time. Everyone agreed? He whispered to the others, and they nodded back. Be reminded, Mr. Charlie Stillwater, that you've few credentials, no psychiatric training of any kind, not even tribal endorsements to prove that you're a shaman. You claim to be. However, if you are a shaman, even self-taught, it does help you qualify for a position of native elder that we are seeking. You'll really need to improve yourself, though. There is no place for amateurs. We're dealing with dangerous people in here. Killers, psychopaths, psychologists, rapists. Well, I don't think this would be a kindergarten picnic, Charlie said. Hey, Hummy, cut it out. I got an audience back here. Those folks aren't here just because they tripped up Grandma at the bus stop. I got my trusty bag and this. He tapped the side of his head with his orca-headed cane. Full deck of marbles. That don't rattle. Oh, I didn't mention, I've watched the original Karate Kid 18 times. Got that cane kick down pat. Try me. The overweight woman choked down her disgust. I think some discussion should be made regarding certain standards of uniform ethics later. However, you're the best candidate so far, so before we change minds, we are offering the position. Sign this agreement so we can pass our findings to the warden. He shoved the paper towards Charlie. Charlie leaned over and scrawled as John Hancock. Well, you can count on me to get this job done, he said. I always have my trusted cane and my wits. Never failed me yet. Although, come to think of it, I'm pretty good at outside animal management. Should have put that on my resume, really. Outside animal management? One of the team slowly muttered aloud, like he couldn't believe what his ears just heard. I've handled some irate squirrels in my backyard. They'll never figure out where I've hidden those nuts. Oh, and for a rather troublesome raccoon I named Rocky, although he tells me he likes Raymond better. Raccoons are like that, you know. Dealt with a pesky raven too, and he was a little more difficult to deal with than you could imagine. But that's a whole other story. Everything I need to learn, I learned from my elders, and from out there in the wilderness. Does this job include lunch in my own office? He looked about, tapping his cane on the floor. There is a canteen here. Meals are included. Wow, this could be an interesting 2 weeks. At least I'll get some free grub. Should have brought my other jacket. It's got bigger pockets for leftovers. Oh, and no name plaque. Name plaque? Yeah, the one on the door to my office. I don't care for titles. And besides, after a few days, I think I should remember which office is mine. If you'll last that long, Mr. Stillwater, one of the people replied. He retreated to the back room and reached for the doorknob. And we'll talk about a raise in 2 weeks. This should be my kind of job, dealing with natives, riffraff, and awful canteen food. Man, I should have applied for this earlier, he laughed. Don't reckon the food would be up to the organic stuff I usually eat when I'm out in the woods, but hey, it's food, and free. And now that's a bonus point. He tilted his festoon exposed back cap. So I'm off to check on the rabble. How long before I get to build towards a pension? Main interviewer, now almost regretting his decision, closed his eyes. You've got a client to deal with later this afternoon. Mr. Stillwater, we'll file that contract with the warden. All the details regarding the benefits, the pay, and the holidays will be in it. Yes, boss. And you can call me Charlie. Boss? Never had a boss before. This could be fun. Holidays? You mean I get time off and fly to exotic locations like LA? Never been to Leduc, Alberta. Some distant cousins out there. He turned and wandered off into the corridor. 1 hour, the interviewer said. I give him 1 hour. Yeah, but at least none of us will have to go in there to deal with them, the overweight woman grunted. And I, for one, hope he gets what he deserves. So that's it. I hope I've done well. Interview's done. And I gotta grab the coffee too. Coffee's done. So that's the last. Thank you very much. Man, she's gonna kill me. That was her favorite cup. Crap, busted it and everything. I'll tell you, this is crazy. Man, am I gonna get shit for this? Not to mention Shirley. Oh man, she wants my phone number. I can't believe this. I'll have to bribe her with some free nuts or something.